Hey there, how you doing? This is the Talking Dude. Thank you very much for watching. And as you've no doubt seen, the United Kingdom is heading for a general election in less than 2 months' time on the 8th of June. Absolutely shocking news, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense from the perspective of the government to call for a general election. Basically, looking at Theresa May's speech, and I'm going to analyse it in a little bit of detail shortly, there are very clear reasons as to why she's called this general election, and she basically sets out the campaigning position of the Conservatives over the next 6 to 8 weeks, however long it's going to be. First of all, she sets out the Conservative Party as the party that will bring about the only party that will bring what the people want, which is to actually leave the European Union. So let's have a quick listen to this snippet first of all.
And as we look to the future, the government has the right plan for negotiating our new relationship with Europe. We want a deep and special partnership between a strong and successful European Union and a United Kingdom that is free to chart its own way in the world. That means we will regain control of our own money, our own laws and our own borders, and we will be free to strike trade deals with old friends and new partners all around the world. This is the right approach, and it is in the national interest.
Now that's a drum that she bangs throughout the speech, national interest, and she sets the party and sets the country on a course of unity, national unity. And this is something that, of course, is somewhat of an anathema to those on the left, the Lib Dems, the Labour Party and the Greens, and many outside of the official parties. They are internationalists. They are in favour of your open borders. They're in favour of your supranational bodies. They're in favour of they're against nationalism and national sovereignty. They want the federalism, the federal Europe. They're all in favour of the federalist Europe, whereby more and more power is ceded to the European Union and other similar structures. And of course, they can't really play on this national tip. They try. The Labour Party tries to go on this. We're looking out for British workers and so forth. But then their policies are policies which are, effectively standing up for the breaking down of national sovereignty. Now, later on in the speech and throughout the speech, she basically portrays the other parties as being against the interests of Britain, particularly when it comes to the European Union and to European Union negotiations. So let's play this little snippet here and have a listen.
Labour have threatened to vote against the final agreement we reach with the European Union. The Liberal Democrats have said they want to grind the business of government to a standstill. The Scottish National Party say they will vote against the legislation that formally repeals Britain's membership of the European Union. And unelected members of the House of Lords have vowed to fight us every step of the way.
So basically, she's saying these other parties are unpatriotic. The Tories, the Conservatives, want national unity, and they want the people they want Parliament to come together to reflect the unity of the people. But she portrays the politicians, the MPs of the Lib Dems and the other parties, and as well as the unelected lords, and that's an interesting one. She puts them into the crossfire and say, look how they played games. Look how they tried to thwart your stated intentions, you as in the people stated intentions from Brexit to leave the European Union. And she portrays them as playing games, these parties as playing games and backtracking and snidely trying to weasel out of something that we've told them to do. And this is a very powerful message. She talks about having a strong and decisive parliament before proper Brexit negotiations start, i.e. the opposition wants to weaken Britain's position. So Tim Farron and all these guys, they basically want the talks to fail, really, so that Britain can be forced back into the European Union, or to have some sort of follow-up vote to basically get us back into the European Union. That's what they want to do. It's game playing. And she's saying only the Tories are representing Britain's interests vis-a-vis or in relation to the European Union. Now it's funny, The Guardian has called this a coup. Can you believe they called it a coup? And many people on the left are as usual shedding tears. They're saying this is outrageous, this is horrible. But here's the thing, this is the chance for the left and for the the hardcore kind of real hardcore alt Remainers, Romaniacs, whatever you want. This is their chance to now let the people give their blessing to either staying in the European Union or having basically EU membership light, whereby you've got everything except actual official membership. This is the chance, and Theresa May actually makes this point later on in her speech. Let's have a listen to it here.
Plans for Brexit and our alternative programmes for government. Let us tomorrow vote for an election. Let us put forward our plans for Brexit and our alternative programmes for government, and then let the people decide. And the decision facing the country will be all about leadership. It will be a choice between strong and stable leadership in the national interest, with me as your Prime Minister, or weak and unstable coalition government led by Jeremy Corbyn, propped up by the Liberal Democrats who want to reopen the divisions of the referendum, and Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP.
Now, the message there, as I said, is saying, look, okay, you think the people are in favour of this? Well, now let's get this sorted out. Let's put all our cards on the table and let's sort this out. What do the people actually want? And then, obviously that's terrifying for people on, Romaniacs, not all Remainers, but Romaniacs, the Remainers who are determined to thwart the whole process, despite it having been ratified by Parliament and so forth. They want to thwart it. Well, okay, let's go to the people and you tell them that's what you want to do, and let's see if they want that. And then she also signals what's going to be another key aspect of the election strategy, which is one that the Conservatives used in the 2015 general election, when they said that basically you vote for Labour, you're essentially voting for the Scottish nationalists to have power, because Labour would have been dependent in a weak coalition back then, or in a coalition back then, they would have been dependent on Scottish nationalists and others. And of course, you basically put a Scottish nationalist into power, then you're basically voting for the country to get divided and to get broken up. And again, that's the point. People in the United Kingdom are in favour of a United Kingdom. The majority of Scottish people are in favour of a United Kingdom. Even, quite a big chunk of Scots actually voted leave. The majority of English people are in favour of United Kingdom, Welsh people, and, a significant chunk of Northern Irish people as well. Maybe even a majority, I don't know. But it has thrown the gauntlet down to these other parties, to state your case and take it to the voters. Now, this could be a shot in the arm for UKIP if they could sort themselves out. But the problem is, as they showed from Stoke and the other by-elections, they've not really kicked on following the Brexit vote last year. And I reckon that what's going to happen is that people are going to look and realise that, look, the Conservatives are pro-Brexit now. They're pro the will of the people, i.e. Brexit, and they're strongly that way. And they can also govern the country. They've shown that they can govern the country, whereas UKIP obviously can't show that, and they don't really show themselves to be much of a serious political party, frankly. So I think a lot of UKIP voters are going to flock to the Conservatives, which is going to help, and a lot of Labour voters are going to flock to the Conservatives as well, particularly in northern areas. So that's going to result in a fair amount of Labour seats switching over to the Conservatives. But I think as far as Jeremy Corbyn goes in the Labour Party, yes, they are way behind in the opinion polls, and they have been for a long, long time, as you can see here. But I think by instructing the Labour MPs to vote for Article 50, I think anyone connected with Labour should thank Jeremy Corbyn, because he, in doing that, has saved the party from annihilation. Now, to be fair, he's helping to lead the party to annihilation, elsewhere. But in doing that, he kind of stopped the absolute precipitous, fall for Labour, because those Labour kind of, heartland voters would have switched. A lot of them would have switched and said, "Nah, forget you, Labour," if they had voted even against the country triggering Article 50. But they will lose a lot of seats, but they won't be destroyed. Overall, I think the Conservatives are going to win this general election quite comfortably, and I think that anyone who is a Brexiter, or even those who voted Remain previously, but respect the result and want us to be able to get on with it, want the government to get on with it and have the strength of the strong position to be able to do the negotiating, there's only really one choice as to who to vote for in this general election, and that is the Conservative Party. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a Talking Dude. Once again, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Oh, also I should mention that I was on a podcast recently. Actually, it's called The Right Dishonourable, and we talked about some of these issues to do with Brexit, and we talked about the Pepsi whole situation, the Syria airstrikes, and the Unite election. So check it out there. I'll put a link in the video description, or you can just search The Right Dishonourable. All right, take care, and I will see you soon.